hit record. So Elizabeth, if she catches on, and then we've got a couple people that are catching the recording. So first of all, welcome guys. I'm so excited to see you've got a crew, especially on a summer day. Hashtag teacher life. I don't know what day it is.
Right.
No, summer day when all of our schedules are packed and crazy. So a couple announcements just to talk about. Number one, this past Monday, the 11th, the Lift 4 challenge packs became available. I know a lot of you were jumping in and adding girls to the free test group. For those of you that maybe haven't added any girls or know some friends that might be interested, feel free to add them into that group. I'm going to keep that group open all the way until July 16th when the actual full programs come out. That way everyone that wants to test it, because this is the first time we've really ever had a program that people can sample it before committing to buy it. And I love that because it's scary. It's scary to put your money in something and you're really just taking a risk on, you know, oh, do I want to do this? Is it a program I'm going to be able to do? So it's really helped me just in these past couple weeks say, okay, hey, I know you've been a little nervous to spend this. Why don't you come try this free workout? And actually what I did the other day was I went back through all my people that had price objections, that were nervous about spending the amount of money. And I went and messaged them and said, hey, I know you were a little uneasy about committing to the workouts. Would you want to try a free one first? So that they of course were like, yes, absolutely. And so it's allowed me to keep conversations with them. And that Lift 4 is so freaking fun that a lot of the girls have committed to it, or are planning to commit to it when they either get paid or, you know, upcoming things. Next thing, the June Success Club prize that Beachbody is giving away is a webcast with Rachel Hollis, who is the author of Girl Wash Your Face. It'll be a little bit more it'll be a nice, probably recorded webcast session of her just talking about her business techniques. I was able to sit in on a call for the Bombshell Dynasty with Rachel Hollis, and she was amazing. I know for us Rubies, we like the stuff, but I will promise I have never been disappointed. Jennifer's a Ruby like me, so I know she wants that freaking shirt so bad. But I have received a lot of webcasts before, and they are all so valuable, and I really like them. Next thing, Coach Sneak Peek. Our team is going to have our Coach Sneak Peek this June 26th and 27th. Mark that on your calendar because this is your opportunity to start growing your personal business, bringing in coaches underneath you. Now, remember, these can be coaches that are just discount coaches. These can be coaches that want to just do it as a hobby to get their Shakeology paid for, their Energize paid for, or these can be coaches who want to build the business and become a business and work the business with you. Since we have more of a team that I'm like so in love with, I really want you guys to help me create this Coach Sneak Peek. So probably on the masterminds call that we might have like just a little quick Zoom in a couple days, especially when I get back from Summit. Maybe that Monday, the 25th, just a quick Zoom to just talk about what we want to contribute on our Coach Sneak Peek. It's really important to like share your story and why you decided to become a coach, because my story, you know, by sharing all of our stories and what brought us here, is our stories are going to connect to different people. And just because, you know, someone that comes into the group under Leah, you know, that person might connect to my story, and that person might help, you know, might commit to Leah because she connected to my story. Or the same thing that goes if Alana shares hers, and, you know, with someone with Jen. It also is a great opportunity to have the sneak peeks to start this conversation with people. Ask them, like, hey, would you ever want to coach? Or, you know, I started this to get a discount. Would you ever want to try to get a discount on some of the products that I use? So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but I purposely planned it after I get back from Summit, because Summit is life-changing and there is so much content that comes out with Summit that I thought it would be really nice to kind of come off the tail end of being at Summit, and it'll be 2 days later, so the energy will still be really high. That being said, I will be going to Summit from June 21st to 24th. My plan, so the way Summit works, it's very much like a huge networking conference, but on top of it, it's fun, but it's a lot of information from the leaders in our companies and successful coaches all across the world. And I apologize, Zane just walked in the door and Roxy's feet are like stomping. But anyways, Summit will give me loads and loads of content, and I am not going to come and just slam it on you guys. So my plan is, from Summit, what I'll be doing is breaking down the key points of things that I learned, and it'll be our topics for the next couple months within our team calls. So I'll be sending the information that I learn and kind of consolidating it and bringing it onto you. So don't think that just because you're not going to Summit that you're going to miss out on a lot of content, because my job, and I can speak to you guys because all of you are teachers in here, will kind of be like a PLC facilitator. I'll be getting the information and then I will be condensing it and bringing it to you. Next, here's my plan. I really want to kind of gather some of us to go and do like a road trip to Super Saturday, which is the one that'll be coming like 2 weeks after Summit on July 7th. Right now, coaches in other areas are still signing up to hold a Super Saturday, but the live events are what make this business just so much stronger, because the live events make you realize, like, even though this is all very virtual, it's so empowering because you get to be around people that are like you, that are excited about it, that are excited about what, you know, the same things that brought you here in deciding to coach. So I'm hoping to kind of gather us together, and I'm considering some team shirts, which I think will just be fun. So those are my little announcements. I am going to stop sharing my screen and simply talk to you guys. Okay. No. So, oh, you're good. I'm gonna, let's see. Hold on 1 second. I'm on. Hold on, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay. All right. So just the other day, Tuesday, I got to be in a team call with Sammy Glonick. And for those of you that may or may not know other Beachbody coaches, but Sammy is her team is number 19 in the business right now. Her Instagram handle is Short Girl Fitness, and her sister is Jamie Ennis. And I don't know if you guys may or may not know Jamie Ennis. She is very high in the company, and she has been for a very long time. And Sammy and Jamie are sisters. And so it was really interesting to hear Sammy, her story, because she was very anti-Beachbody. She joined, her sister started as a coach, and her sister begged her to coach for over a year and a half. And she said, no, absolutely not. You're crazy. I'm not joining your cult. Like, I will not do it, for a year and a half. And so she shared a little bit of her story with us about how she had this whole change of thinking with her experiences in life. She was going to school. She was becoming, she was trying to become a dentist, and she kept getting, what's the word I'm thinking of? Rejected from dental school. And then she got rejected from her master's degree. So like all these big plans she kept having for herself, she kept getting rejected from. And then her dad had a heart attack. And at this point in time, her sister was still very much in like health and fitness. And she was a successful Beachbody coach, and she was still resistant. But then her sister, like after their dad had this heart attack, she decided that she would at least do a workout to like please her sister. And so she fell in love with Shaun T. Well, then her sister like tried to drag her to Summit, and she wouldn't do it because she was broke. She was trying to be in dental school and doing all these plans, and everything kept like knocking her down. And she finally went off to Summit, and in turn fell in love with the process, but still never wanted to actually like push the business and work it. And then she finally had this like kind of like a come to Jesus moment, and decided that she was going to get her degree. She was going to continue with trying to get her master's degree for dental, and she had to figure out a way to pay for it. And ultimately that was when she committed to Beachbody and pushing the business, because she had to pay to get through her schooling. Long story short, she is phenomenal. She was enjoyable to listen to, and she shared so much information with us about using Instagram. And it's interesting because what you'll find over time and what you'll learn is that social media is constantly changing. If you watch videos from coaches a year ago, they're going to only be talking about Facebook, and they're going to be saying post 3 to 5 times a day. Well, social media is not like that anymore. If you post like that on Facebook, Facebook's going to kick your posts away and no one's going to see it. So right now the big push is on Instagram, simply because there's a little bit more control. We can be choosier on we can take a little bit more control to the fact that our stuff is being seen, because ultimately we are Beachbody coaches, but we are not trying to sell our products. We are trying to sell us. And we have to sell us because someone can go to Google. If someone wants Shakeology, they can go on eBay, they can go on Amazon, they can go on anywhere. They can go on Beachbody On Demand, and they can get that stuff. What we have to sell is why we are the person that they need to go through this journey with. And so that's why the product doesn't even matter. It's about them falling in love with who we are. And the thing that I keep hearing over and over again is you have to find your people. You have to be you. That is what's going to make people fall in love with you. And that's what's going to make the people who are not you leave. And in all reality, you want them to leave. The people who don't get you are not going to be the people who stick around anyways. You want the people who are like you. And so Sammy's big thing, and I love this, was your social media needs to show your lifestyle. And the one way that she recruits is she shares her personality. Now, we all know about the hashtags and our 5 pillars. But Sammy got deeper than that, and I really liked it. Like she said, think of your 5 personality traits, 5 things that are like you. So like, of course, after I got off the call, I texted my mom, my best friend, I texted Zane, my brother, and I said, tell me 5 personality traits that are me, that you would describe me with. And so like one of them was like, one of my family members said adventurous. So, I thought, okay, yeah, I am adventurous, but I don't let people know that. I take risks, and I do things without thinking sometimes. And so on your social media, think about your 5 personality traits. Are you conveying that on your social media? And I know a lot of times we want to shoot out the invites all the time because that's what we're trying to get right now. And especially as we're trying to reach certain goals, we really want to get people to join with us because that's what we're after right now. But what we have to kind of stop and stand back with is, why and how are these people going to connect with us? What is going to make them choose you over the other 5 coaches that they're probably seeing as they scroll down their feed? So think about your 5 personality traits. She said this amazing quote that she had heard from another PD. You can never say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So if you are you and you are true to who you are, if it's your person and they're your people, they're not going to care if it was the wrong thing because they're your people. But if they're not your people, you're never going to please them. You're never going to give them what you want. And we all know those people out there, those naysayers or those people that just want to start the argument. Those aren't your people. Those aren't your people. And that's what we have to take the time to figure out is who are we? And so you have to do a lot of self-reflection. Who are we? What makes us amazing? And what's going to make us be that connection that we can then help someone? So think about branding you. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you flustered? Sometimes calling out your little quirks, your little oddities that we think we would never share with people or that we would never talk about, share those, because we're already putting ourselves on this open platform. So one of the things she talked about was her road rage. She has extreme road rage, and she said she's always had it since she was 16 years old, since she started driving. So she's like, I talk about my road rage. I connect with people. I ask people, do you have this problem too? She's like, those are my people, the people who have road rage. So think about your quirks and the things that you might not necessarily, that might be every day to you, that might just make you a little bit more authentic. And make you connect with someone, so that if someone is hearing you over and over, we got Elizabeth on. Hey, Elizabeth. I don't know if she can hear me. Hey, Elizabeth. You're good. I'm recording, so you can catch up on all the stuff that I've mentioned up to this point. Sound good? All right. Okay. Next, incorporate your emotions in your brand. And when I say your brand, you are your brand. Beachbody is not your brand. Beachbody is what you do to make yourself healthier. Beachbody is what you're doing to embrace this lifestyle, but you are your brand. When people sign up with you, they're not signing up with Beachbody. They're using that tool so that they can be with you in our groups and eventually your own groups. That's what we're after when we are putting out our social media and our platform. All right, the next tip, this was huge to me and made so much sense, and all of you are going to be amazing at this because every single one of you on here are teachers. Post like you're talking to second graders. Post like you are talking to your students, because we all know teacher lingo. Our Beachbody lingo has become teacher lingo. It's people don't know Beachbody World. People don't know BOD, Beachbody On Demand. People don't know Energize. People don't know what we do as coaches. People don't even know what challenge groups are. So post like you're talking to the kids. That is going to make people start to understand. So if you say, I'm having a challenge group, Then maybe, you know, after that, say a challenge group is where, you know, we have women working on a calendar program, a workout program from day 1 to day 21, and we're trying to make it through alive. I mean, be Barney style is what I call it. Talking Barney style. And that to me was like glass shatter. Like I heard the glass shatter, like on How I Met Your Mother. Like the glass shatter when she said that, I was like, yes. So many times I'm like, oh yeah, come to my challenge group. No, people don't know what a challenge group is. And her comparison to this was she was talking to her mom. And at this point in time, she was very high up in the company. And her mom said, Sammy, what do you do as a coach? And she said, well, Mom, I do this and this. And she explained it. And she's like, her mom said, you need to tell people that more. I don't get that. I don't understand that. So start thinking when you're sharing your posts and your story and you're inviting people, start thinking that you're talking to a second grader or your own children. The next thing, when you're starting to talk about the coaching experience, share what you do as a coach. Put it into layman's terms. And I know a lot of you are just kind of starting out as coaching, and that's fine. But right now, what you do as a coach is you team up with other coaches, and we are pushing and showing up every day on our workouts. That's what we do as coaches right now. The next thing is master one thing at a time. Make your focus be one thing at a time. When you're sharing information, don't feel like you have to, okay, now I got to talk about my coaching. Now I have to talk about who I am and my brand. Now I have to talk about a challenge group. Slow down. Just because I'm giving all this information doesn't mean that we have to shove it all out at once. Even though a lot of us, you know, we want to, because we're trying to be like perfectionists with it and we're trying to like do everything right. My advice is to start off with one thing at a time. And right now, because we're all fresh in this, start off with finding who you are, branding you. So your task that I would like you to focus on is tonight, make your list of your 5 personality traits. And as you make those 5 personality traits, think about how you're going to share that on your newsfeed. And when I say your newsfeed, you know, your actual like squares on Instagram, because on our Insta stories, we kind of have that down. Like your Insta story is you authentic, you just hot mess and all. I mean, I'm speaking on myself. The next thing that I'm going to leave you guys with, and I'm gonna let you guys ask a couple questions in a minute. One thing she stressed, because Instagram is changing so much, don't stress so much about the hashtags. She said, she's like, out of all the women that I have, she's like, very rarely have I found them anymore through the hashtags. She's like, because so many people are doing the hashtags, you're just finding other coaches. So her tip, and I thought this was interesting, and I actually did it today. She said, start tagging companies, because the companies sometimes will reuse your picture. And when I say companies, so Jen, I know you're a big Ray Dunn. So start tagging Ray Dunn, and then you can actually start looking through Ray Dunn's people, and those are your people because they collect Ray Dunn like you. So she said, start tagging the companies, and tag the companies that you would honestly use. So like today I had a cover up on, and it was from Target. So I tagged Target. You know, I'm not going to go tag Kate Spade because I don't carry a Kate Spade bag. You know, I don't. So tag the companies. Like if you have an outfit, or if you, Alana, tag Starbucks. You know, when you've got a picture with your coffee, tag Starbucks, and then look through Starbucks tags. Also start the GeoGrids. So the GeoGrids, when you post a picture or you post a story, you can tag your location, but you don't actually have to tag like your house address. So like I will tag West Virginia, and then I'll shrink it down real small. And then in my pictures, I'll just tag Charleston, West Virginia. So she suggested that those are the key techniques, because hashtags are they are kind of like it was huge 6 months ago, but we're getting to that cycle of social media shifting. And that's what they're starting to see, is the hashtags are getting saturated, which we all see. And so right now they're saying tag the brands as you, like right now I'm obsessed with my Happy Planner. So like I plan to do a post in a couple weeks about my Happy Planner, and I'm going to tag Happy Planner. Another thing, as teachers, your teacher supplies, or kids stuff, kids, could be kids clothing, or just anything that you utilize. Rachel, I know your organization right now, so maybe like a brand of organization tub that is like spot on for you. Tag that. And so what they were saying is sometimes these companies will actually even use your picture, which will bring you more people in. So just those were some little techniques that I was like writing. I'm not sharing everything that she went, because I will give you guys information overload. But those were some of like the key things that I took and I ran with. I was like, yes. And I think the personality traits, to recap, list your 5 personality traits. Talk like you're speaking to your students. I just said a second grader, but talk like you're speaking to students, because they don't know Beachbody lingo or coach lingo. And play around with your, don't stress about the hashtags as much. And then play around with the geotagging, and the, brands, the companies. And then also think about like the bigger cities. She said you could even like I thought about tagging Huntington and like shrinking it down just so my stuff is seen. Sometimes it'll just cycle through and seen. It doesn't mean that I'm like have to be in Huntington right now, but just think of the bigger cities. Elena, I know you're getting ready to travel, so that'll be good. When you port in Florida, tag like crazy the places that you stop while you're in Florida. I mean, just because that random. So I'm going to let you guys ask any questions. And guys, I did it with 1 minute and 34 seconds to spare. Pretty proud of myself. So questions. You guys can unmute yourself if you have any.
When you say like the geo thing, is that just when you you just tag your location on your post?
You can tag it on your post, and you can tag it on your Insta story. So when I tag it on the Insta story, where you get the GIFs in your Insta story, it'll say location.
Okay.
But then what I'll do is I shrink it super, super small, and I make it transparent, and I put it down in the bottom corner.
Yeah. Okay, that's what you mean by shrink it. Because I'm like, what does she mean shrink it? Like down to like the street? Like what do you
No. I just like shrink it so it's not like me working out and then it says like Huntington, West Virginia. So I just make it transparent, and I put it in the very bottom corner, or sometimes I'll even like put my hashtag or my GIF over it. What that does, so people nowadays are following locations. Jen?
I had like 500 views on my last story. I tagged Tampa, even though I'm not in Tampa.
Perfect. Yeah, you're going to find those bigger cities get you more views, because people are, especially, outside of West Virginia. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can search anywhere.
Jackson does it all the time.
Yes.
Tag it. If you tap it, once you put in a location, you tap it. That's what she says. Make it translucent.
Yeah.
Tap it turns like a gray.
Yeah.
Put it down real small and put it at the bottom.
Right. And the people that follow those feeds, then you'll pop in. And if you're one of those people, so like I've also started searching for people. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, in a town called Bay Village. So I actually, you can search people too, according to places. So when you go to search, so I've just been trying lately, I've found that I have to really work on finding my niche market. In my mind, I feel like I'm these young, 23-year-old brand new teachers. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can follow all these great teachers. And I'm like, no, I'm, mid-30s mom, like thinking that I'm young. It's all hitting me.
The hashtags too, like my hashtags, the farmhouse ones that I use. Your house is kind of farmhouse too, Elena.
Yeah.
The farmhouse ones, I've had 800, 900, 1,000 views with the farmhouse hashtag.
Yep. Oh. Yeah. That's how my golden retriever.
Are you talking about story? Like that's what you're talking about, like the 800. Okay.
Oh yeah, put it in your story.
Cause see, I don't ever think to tag stories. Like I tag my post like crazy with stuff, but okay, that's
tag your story.
Yeah. Now in the stories, like if you use the actual hashtag, I think it limits it to one.
Right. Yeah, you can only do one.
Yeah, but those, like, think of the big hashtags for those. So like whenever I used to talk about teacher stuff, I would do Teachers of Instagram on like the biggest ones, because those big ones are the ones that people watch those stories just for that hashtag.
I always get the most viewers with the horses.
Oh, I'm sure. And that's what, when I do Roxy, the golden retrievers of Instagram, I'll have like 800, 900 views. And it just
come back and look at it.
Yeah.
You can click off and look at your profile and everything from there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that where you do the location in the stories also?
Yeah. If you hit the, is it like a little smiley face?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It gives you the options then. And, with the stories, really feel free to just be you. I mean, they always say, the story, because right now the stories are what's so powerful, because Instagram and Facebook choose who sees your feed. When I post a picture, Instagram's algorithm chooses who sees that. It's not like it goes out to all my friends. But Insta stories, my friends choose to come watch my stories. And that's the difference. That's why stories is so amazing right now, because the followers that we have, those are the people coming back. Those are the people that are watching and wanting to, they're the followers and they choose to come click your story. All right. Any questions? We good? All right. We need to get a group picture real fast. Jen, you're muted. Hold on.
That girl, she had a video on the Beachbody Champions.
Which one?
The one that you were talking about.
Jatan? Oh, Short Girl Fitness?
Yeah, what's her real name?
Sammy Glonick.
I wrote down all that stuff that you said. Like.
From that call?
Yes.
Awesome.
It looked like she was like in a trailer or something.
I don't know. She lives in Berkeley, California.
Like a trailer or like on a Florida room or something.
She travels so much.
If she's in Berkeley, it might be all she can afford.
I know, Berkeley, California, for real. And I think she's like paying for her boyfriend to go through college. So like she is their support right now.
Yeah, it's probably a trailer, Jen.
Do you guys know Dignified Teaching? She's a big teacher coach right now. That's one of Sammy's coaches.
I think you're so right about the hashtags though, because like I almost get like annoyed when I try to find people through hashtags and then it's a bunch of Beachbody coaches.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's where it's just become, where social media changes so much. I mean, from just even when I started coaching a year and a half ago, it has changed the world of social media has changed so much. And so the ones who survive are the ones who are cool with the change and just glide through and like, okay, that's not working, throw that to the side. So like today, you know, I've laid back on the hashtags. But when I have a really, like today I did a real big post on endometriosis, you know, which is one of my platforms. And so I did 3 hashtags like Endo Warriors, you know, and so I stuck with those because I wanted my story to pick up in that, but I wasn't worried about posting my mom life or, you know, so just us staying ahead of that, you know, because there are still people like, you know, still rocking the hashtags because that's what was working. And now it's kind of gliding out. And, you know, you have to think too, like our communities are so in so much need of help. As much as, you know, my social media, like I've got people from all over, the basis of the people that I'm talking to are local women. So that is definitely something.
They said don't put your hashtags in the comments because Instagram won't push it either.
Right. Yeah, things are changing so much because that used to be a big thing was put it in the comments. So it was separate. So it's another thing how it's changing. All right, ladies, let's do a picture and I'm gonna let you go. All right. Everyone. Oh, hold on. Smile, Jen. Jen, I like picking on you. All right. No more questions?
Nope.
All right, go enjoy your evening, guys. I will talk to you guys later.
Deuces.
Bye.